some reminders.
You're welcome.
A little info about the workshops. There's 14 workshops. They're scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. There'll be 5 workshops on Monday, 6 on Tuesday, and 3 available on Friday. And that's between 9 instructors that we have.
Are we sticking with Friday being online, or are we gonna have any online on Monday and Tuesday?
We doing Frank's available online. but-
Yeah, Frank has one on, so we've split Frank's up into two different days. Just because we thought that since he's East Coast, it wasn't fair for him to teach on Friday afternoon until 7 o'clock his time. So we have the intro course of fabric going on Tuesday morning, and then his advanced course of fabric on Friday morning. So
Both of those online or?
yeah, both of those can be online. Yeah. But those are the only workshops that are available, kind of a hybrid experience.
Yeah, and Kara's Friday workshop will be in person only. So, we did talk to John Nelson a little more and we got some information about his workshop. And we're gonna do 2 workshops on Tuesday, so 1 in the morning, it's gonna go from 8 to 10:30, and then 1 in the afternoon from 1 to 3:30. And we blocked them out 2.5 hours for each of those. Talking to him in email, he said probably about an hour to do his workshop. And then an hour for kind of hands-on, walking everyone through the project, kind of going around table to table. We did about a 32-person cap, so we'll have about 8 tables, 4 people per table. And that seemed like a good amount, so it won't be overwhelming, but plenty of people can take that course because it's probably gonna be popular.
Yeah, I expect that the afternoon session to sell out. So.
Yeah, and then I think also Michelle is going to set up a waiting list. So in case there's more people that want to sign up, but it's already booked full, maybe someone cancels or they can't make it. She'll kind of have like probably a first come, first serve. So that'll give people some options there.
Good idea.
Do we have a?
When is registration open? The 29th?
28th, I'll get to that, but yeah.
Is there an announcement plan maybe for this week to say the workshops or online to view and that registration is gonna open on the 28th?
I'm not sure what was in Michelle's last email.
Just about presentations.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about registration.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think we can probably put together something for workshops available.
Maybe have Alicia put a little graphic.
Yeah. I like that.
Give people some heads up, so if they're really interested, they
Yeah.
can get in there.
Be ready.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of those
exactly.
things.
Well, we all know how the feeds, the more times people see it, because people see it once and they're like, oh, I should do that. And they see it again and then they get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's been extended. Oh, now I have to do it.
And the website had said February 1st for registration, so I think
Yeah.
saying for sure January 28th.
And the other thing I would encourage you all to do is echo it on your personal feeds. If you feel comfortable doing that, I like to do that. I think that helps. Anything else, Dave? Or so you got Gail's question for you, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think there are going to be any more sessions added? Or is this,
To what we have?
yeah,
I think we're
solid?
just based on the rooms available and, how that's gonna roll out. I think we're probably set with this number.
Yeah, so we only have room for another half day. And it would have been Frontier Precision, but they decided they're opting to do a presentation over a workshop. But really, so we only have, I think, Monday morning available.
Oh, so we do have a spot just in case.
We do, but I don't anticipate something coming.
No, that's fine.
We have a pretty, just with the small number of rooms we had, that's kind of why we had to dial back.
Yep.
The number of workshops. I think it's good quality workshops as well. So I think we should have good numbers across the board.
If you do need something else, I don't see anything LiDAR. We are doing a workshop at Marl's.
I was just
It's
thinking,
already gonna be done.
yeah, I was just thinking of that, but you guys,
Pop that in there.
yeah, is that more for a half day or a full day? Half day? Yeah, I was thinking about that. If the imagery folks at Esri, if that fell through, we were probably gonna reach out to you all, but I think definitely a go for Great Falls
Okay.
next year. So I guess just keep that in mind, but Yeah, that was one of the things with the limited number of
First week of March.
rooms is we couldn't cover everything in the number of workshops just because we were spread thin, so.
Dave, any other points you want to hit on workshops?
Yeah, so we just have the 3 paid instructors back here, Kara and David House. And then all the pricing has been set there as well for member and non-member. And then I added a Grouse Mountain Lodge conference PDF to the shared drive. It's in the same drive that the 2026 workshop is in. So if anyone wants to take a look at that or needs to, it's there. It's got the room layout, size, and they give some general numbers, how many people you can fit, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Pretty much everything I got.
Fantastic. Thanks for being so organized. This is great.
That's probably, thanks.
Thanks to you both.
Yeah, I didn't want to wing this update. There's enough going on in the next 3 months. So registration, as we mentioned, opens next week, 28th. So I've been in contact with Megan and Alicia to kind of get us both, or all 3 of us in sync, website and social media. And we'll try to do some initial pushes as well. So I'll get in contact with Alicia about that. So we did discuss about opening earlier, possibly this week, but we just wanted to kind of make sure all of our T's were crossed and I's were dotted, before we start doing that. So, new pricing model this year, we increased the, full conference rate by $25. And then we also increased the workshops by $15. So, and then we also added an additional pricing tier. So we have an early bird, intermediate, and late rates. Call for presentations, we just extended that yesterday, until the 23rd, so this Friday, but should give us enough time to get more in. We have 27 right now. My goal is around 40. And
Wow.
we have.
We only had 12 at the meeting, so.
Yeah.
So we
got a
got
bunch.
15
There's always a big
last
jump.
week,
Yeah, there's always a big jump. Yeah, people love to wait till last minute, so.
Yeah, it's that deadline extension. I'm still working on mine.
Yeah, I know so many people that are still working on it. It's almost like our members can bank on an extension, so. I'm sure we'll get a wave of more and be 40 plus, so we'll be okay. So we'll probably set something, to go over the schedule sometime early February. Sponsors, we just actually got another one this morning. Rock Technologies came through with golds. We have 4 golds and 3 silvers. So Rock, Civic, Lens, MSU, GBS, Aries, are the new ones from since last month. And then Terracon, like I mentioned, they're gonna sponsor the Monday night meetup again.
Awesome.
Is there a sponsor for the Met Gallery
The what?
for Tuesday?
Is
Is
someone-
there still a vendor night? Are we doing anything?
Yeah, we're doing a vendor night, yeah.
But do we have any sponsors for that?
No, we don't.
For like a
Somebody
mappy
could,
hour?
though. Somebody could if they wanted to, yeah.
Maybe Ezra should do a mappy hour.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually. Maybe I'll ask Michael about that.
Don't use the word mappy.
Well,
I know.
it would be like in reference to John.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I just learned this morning that the learning lab has been approved from the Whitefish, so.
Awesome.
Pretty excited about that. I think Ezra's still working on their sponsorship too, but, I told them that it would be nice if their sponsorship could come through before we open registration.
Should just tell them it's gonna be diamond if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Slot you in.
So the early career student roundtable thing we're gonna do again, there's gonna be some changes to it, hopefully this year. So there was a group of folks, I was hoping to make the meeting, but I wasn't there, but they met on January 8th. So changes that they're wanting to make is kind of a shorter introduction period. It was Helen's idea to kind of make that shorter. And have everyone essentially kind of pre-submit their intros, just so we don't have some long-winded intros. Wanted to do longer than 60 minutes, which if we do it over the lunch period on Thursday, that'll definitely be possible. So we're trying to reach out to get that
The mayor.
Yeah, the mayor Whitefish. Can't pronounce the last name, sorry. And supposedly he at least knows of GIS and is very, I wouldn't say savvy of GIS, but you know, not a lot of mayors even know what GIS is. So the fact that he does, I think that's a plus. And then next committee meeting is the 11th February. So yeah, that covers it. You guys have any questions?
I got a question, yeah. Sounds great. Looks like you've been real busy with it and like that. I have a question for Jackson and the presentation, you know, basically having to submit your presentation this early. I understand why you're doing it, of course, but I feel like it kind of puts us out of step with the academic cycle. You know, there's not a lot of students that I know that are like sharpening their pencils for a presentation right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm wondering, Jackson. I mean, what are you seeing on that front? And how do we mitigate that? Right? Like, we've talked in the past about, you know, where our presentations are coming from, you know, and it's a little bit inbred. And we wanted to broaden the scope a little bit, and I feel like we definitely closing the door on the academic side of presentations. So it's nothing we're gonna do about that right now. It just kind of occurs to me, it's like getting earlier and earlier and earlier, and I understand why. So we can be organized and stuff, but somehow we're, you know, it comes at a cost. So what do you think, Jackson?
No, I agree. I mean, obviously over break, you know, the spring semester for MSU and UM just started. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate timing with that. Yeah, I remember us talking about this. Can't remember if that was at strategic planning, but I don't know what the solution is right now, but I definitely agree with you that it's a lot of step.
Yeah, I mean, I think going forward, especially with it being Great Falls next year, we have a lot more space available. I think the only way to potentially curb this is just blocking out or expecting student presentations, and if they fall through, then, you know, so essentially just kind of making a spot on the agenda without actually knowing who's going to fill them.
Yeah.
And then just kind of backfill that information later.
And not advertise it, but allow a longer window for them.
Yeah. Yeah, because I understand the whole academic calendar is challenging all this, and But it would be nice to hear from the students. We've had it on past agendas, probably pre-COVID, but it's kind of been a struggle, kind of post-pandemic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it goes in a couple of ways, right? Like on the one hand, it's good for students to present at professional conferences, that is a boost to their education, credibility.
Yeah.
And, it does give us some fresh perspectives as well on what's out there. And the other part is, even if you were to advertise in the fall, sometimes people are coming in to that field in the fall, and it takes them a while to develop an idea to then present in the spring. Right, so it's a challenge. You don't always have the same students in the spring as you had in the fall. So even if you talk about it till you're blue in the face, it's a fresh audience come January.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't know, something to think about. I'd be willing to help on that brainstorming and figuring this dilemma out somehow.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes hand in hand with the posters as well. We've seen less and less student posters as well. And I don't know how the earth science colloquium, there's probably less GIS ones there. I mean, every time we're there, we always see a bunch of geology and snow science ones. But really not, I mean, a lot of them use GIS obviously, but there's always some where, there's probably a handful of your students. I don't know if they're.
Most of them are not GIS. Yeah, there's probably 50 posters and like maybe 5 are strictly spatial analysis. The rest, they have a map or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's something like with, getting more students involved in the poster contest too.
But it's the same pool, right? It's
the
same dilemma.
I just remember going to school there and being in the GIS focused classes. I mean, we all did posters at for science, and many of us did them at the MAGIP conference too. So it is kind of probably the same pool people you're trying to pull from, but not as successfully.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got other disciplines now too. Everybody's using spatial analysis.
All the rage these days.
Right, and academic and professors too, right? I wrote early on in our organization, that was half of the participants were all professors also. And so, we miss out on that level of discussion.
It's a case of reaching those ones in the fall that what you're gonna do is if you reach them, if you have them in the springtime, if they're like a sophomore, you get them in the fall or spring, you kind of get them teed up so that for their junior year fall session, they have something that they've worked on that they can then turn around and be ready to present in your spring session. Because it's not something that they're going to present on that they're doing this semester, unless they, I mean, it's very similar to Carroll has that every spring towards the tail end of the semester. They have their their student undergraduate research fair, and it's nothing but poster presentations.
Yeah, it's cool.
And throughout the interior of, I've never gone, but I had a student do it by story map a couple of years ago. So, but it's, and I mean, it's a case, I don't know, if you catch them right now and say, hey, why don't you take this class exercise and turn it into something, maybe, I don't know.
Well, maybe let's get together and kind of talk about it a little. I don't want to take too much time at the meeting here, but I lament the lack of that.
Yeah, I mean, I know Professor Hoke presented on his mosquito study here in Helena, but I don't know if anyone else has ever, I don't think any of the other,
Now, what about
Earth
reaching out to the
science,
tribal colleges?
the environmental science classes
The
or anything
community
like that.
college Flathead, they at least have a surveying program. I'm not sure if they do any other GIS there. But,
I mean, I have a couple thoughts. Well, one, we are presenting, I don't know if it's gonna be me or actually many of you know Eric Schreier, depending on how my schedule looks that week. We're presenting on some research that uses spatial analysis. in Whitefish, so that'll be fun. It's a super cool project. My two other thoughts are for the grad students and the professors, I think I'm less worried about the gap because, you know, professors are kind of expected to stay on top even over break. For undergrads, it's a real problem for getting their participation.
Yep.
I'm wondering if like a late student window for posters, it seems like it's low risk because it's something that it doesn't need to be detailed on the agenda because there's a poster session, right? So it's not like we need a detailed abstract. So I'm wondering if extending that window, and I don't know if that'll gum things up this year,
It
but
usually goes to like the Friday before.
Yeah,
It's
we
not
usually stretch
that
that.
as far as it
Poster
gets
present.
So no,
Yeah.
let's do that.
And in the web map, sometimes we're pulling people in
that day.
Tuesday that it's happening, so.
That Tuesday afternoon, it's like, oh, Jason, didn't you do this? Didn't you create a dashboard? Yeah. Why don't you present on it here during this?
and my other thought is that, and this goes hand in hand with our discussions about more outreach through social media channels, is that I really think we need to think about like targeted audience advertising. So we talked last time we met about a flyer specifically geared towards students. Like, here's why you should come to GeoCon. We've got a early career student roundtable. You can get your resume reviewed. You have a chance to win money in the poster contest. And there's also scholarship opportunities, right? And kind of like bundling that stuff into, you know, we have support for this from Alicia and Michelle to like very targeted, and we could do a more academic focused one as well, right? Do you want to, you know, I think this is, I don't want to say it's not low stakes, but I think it's a little less pressure than potentially a very big nationwide conference for presenting early research returns, things like that. So I think we could develop some targeted kind of advertisements.
I would like to, and I'm happy to beat that drum. But there has to be an outlet for it. Right? If I go, you know, I communicated with all of the faculty at the College of Forestry recently. And if I go and continue to beat that drum and then registration for presentations is closed.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of egg on my face there. So there needs to be an outlet for it. So I know that this is not gonna be the year for that.
Yeah.
But let's just kind of think about it. The other thing that's kind of crazy is that it's always at spring break.
Yeah.
Right? So people are like, I'm out of here.
Or after.
No, thank you.
Just the regular student
You talking about-
presentation.
You talking about our conference? I don't think it's been over spring break the last few years.
It's
So
close.
spring break is middle of March, it's third week of March. So there's a gap.
Well,
I think we're more encroaching on finals more than anything, because I think we're
Yeah,
about
it's
a
May.
week prior to, kind of
I think we have an
the dead period,
opportunity
or the
with
dead
that-
week, or whatever they
that
call it.
website too, or that University of
Yeah.
Billings. I need to talk to those guys again because they're developing that inter-network website for all students to combine. If we can get some, I mean, all we gotta do is start getting some flyers out of that thing.
Yeah.
You know, that would certainly,
Yeah, because students aren't signing up for listservs. I mean, they're just not
right.
really. So they might follow us on socials, yes, but
I think we definitely need to advertise to the support that we provide for students. And also, like, if we really want students to get involved, especially if it's in Whitefish, I mean, looks like we dish out $150, but I don't know. I think if I was a student and was looking at hotel prices and conference fees.
Well, it's a little bit of a disconnect, right? Like we're wanting to do all these things for students, but they're not really part of the they don't really participate in the scene of it,
Yeah,
right? So it's a little bit of an empty
like financial incentive
thing.
goes a long way. with Students.
We can throw so much at them, you know.
But I haven't seen any of that
Do it.
scholarship money. I haven't seen anyone really take us up on that in the last few years.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
And that used to always be full.
So something to think about, right? We don't need to beat it to death right now, but I think it would be cool if we could continue strategizing on that going forward.
I don't know if all of you have seen this on LinkedIn. We just reached 1,000 followers.
or that.
Wow.
And, but I wanna
That's
say
a
when I
big
was,
deal.
I wanna say, so this was pre-Alicia, when I was kind of doing it, I think we only had around 200 or 300. So we've gotten a lot of followers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I think our outreach is already seeing early returns, which is very
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah, somebody congratulated us on 1,000 followers, and I go back to our page, and I was like, wow, we do have 1,000 followers, that's like, holy smokes.
Put that in.
And what does that mean? I mean, come on.
Well, it's good. It's a
I
good
mean,
sign.
it's good, yes, I know.
Well, we have like.
So, I mean, that's great.
It's good on our
1,000,
Facebook,
man.
it's good on our Facebook followers, hardly anybody follows.
My generation, that means squat, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Care less what that means, but,
Mine,
I mean, yes, it's a.
Yeah. Exactly.
You get some online.
How many actions and how many followers?
Yeah, I mean, 1,000 followers when we have 200 people show up
good,
for
yeah.
the conference, right? Like, I think there's a, yeah. I think
We've got a
the
potential
importance-
member pool.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have 237 members.
That's true.
Subject of.
Yeah, it's not real.
Yeah.
So the Earth Science Colloquium it always falls after the conference.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know that you have talked about increasing the level of use of analysis, GIS analysis in those papers.
Mhm.
I wonder if there's any opportunity to get those students involved, just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's-
They are dragging their feet on scheduling this year, so I'm not exactly sure because it's student led, so.
Oh, okay.
And the
okay.
students have not come up.
Well,
with
and a lot of them are not even in GIS, I mean, that's probably the biggest disconnect between the colloquium and the GIS, or in our GIS conferences.
Yeah, and we see that when we're judging as well, but to Jackson's point, there is an opportunity, I think, to get more people involved and maybe that's one way, but to Jackson's point, it's led by students and I've been there, I think, 4 years now, 3 years or 4 years, and every year it depends on who's in charge as to how organized it is. Last year it was really organized. The
Yeah.
year before that wasn't quite, but I think that last year, people from the previous year were also on the committee, so it made it, like you had
Yeah.
some experience.
So if we up the prizes this year, so if we can advertise that, maybe that will encourage people, because they might be doing spatial analysis and not.
Yeah.
Emphasizing it on their poster,
Yeah.
because they, why would they? If it's like, well, yeah, I did some spatial analysis, but I'm focusing on geology. But if they hear like, oh, you can maybe win a prize.
Right.
Yeah.
Get some money.
Yeah.
For the work that you have to
Yeah.
do for a grade as well.
Yeah. Should be a win-win thing. Okay, anything else on GeoCon, Jeff, before we move along?
Nope, I think we've covered it all.
Okay. Thanks for all your hard work.
And, Lauren, I can get you a copy of this update too.
Okay,
Just because I know there's a lot of words. and small
vigorous
stuff.
notes, but.
Okay, so moving right along to elections. Like I said, it's already January, so it is time to start at least thinking about elections and who's up. So I sent around a list, it's on the agenda of positions that are up. My apologies, Rob, because I accidentally included you in position. Your position is up, but you have a year left. So positions up for re-election in 2026, unless I missed something. Vice President, currently Mike is in that role, so that will be up as he makes the transition from Vice President to President. I have the incorrect version up here. So scholarships and grants is not up. Committee chair, Rob was elected to that last year. Web administrator, which Megan is currently holding, which was made an official position 2 years ago. Okay. Conference liaison, which is Jeff is currently in that seat, and then member development, which is Helen this year. And Helen, we've already prepared your contract based on your email. So
I'm
you're-
running again. I would hope that you guys vote for me and don't find some alternative candidate, but
There's no cost of living increase, sorry.
vote Helen. I'm putting my campaign message out early.
So Helen has graciously agreed to run again for member development, so that leaves positions not up for re-election. So the president is not up for election. I think we all know how this works with that transition. So that does not go on the ballot. Am I correct in that, Galen, Mike?
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, VP president, I mean, that's the.
Yeah, that's the
That's the
directory. So we
thing.
don't list it on the.
Correct. Yeah, the only reason we did last year was because of
weird-
that weird
yeah,
election.
Past president, which I'll be moving into, Lauren, it's a 2-year term, and Lauren is in her first year, so she is locked in for next year, and that same applies to Nick, who's also in his first year, and to Dave, I guess, right? So
Yep.
all 3 of you in your first year. And then Eric, he obviously communicated via email after some discussion, and has offered to stay on for.
Yeah, nobody stepped up at the meeting there? I thought you said that there might be.
There might, I thought there was gonna be, just based on a previous, previous time.
Yep.
And the folks that I thought I reached out to them independently, separate, or I should say separately.
Yeah.
And one has already been reappointed to somewhere else and didn't wanna
Overextended.
triple up on their duties. And another one was of the same ilk. They were both, the 2 that I reached out to, so.
And it's a much smaller council.
It is a smaller council and it's there's still openings, I think, on some of the levels, so.
Yeah, they
Like the
basically,
board, I think
they basically cut it in half, basically. They cut-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was 20 something, now it's like.
and many of those are, there's a handful that are state, departments that are mandated to be there, and then. Their tribal one, I think is open, I think tribal's still open.
Is the
And then the private business.
private business, yeah.
So it's, but yeah, no, and so when I reached out, cause I didn't do it because I didn't wanna do it, I was doing it because I was like, we've got a bunch of new folks on the MAGIP board, and I thought, let's see if we can get fresh blood, and there was no fresh blood to be found, so my vampirism is being squeezed, so.
You're stuck with us, Eric.
So I said, well, I will continue doing it. I'm happy to do it. I think it's, I've decided I'm gonna make more of an effort to make sure I get cross contamination of reports to everyone. So that's why knowing I'd be gone, I made sure I responded so people knew what was going on with council, the grants open and all those things going on. And I'll double up what Helen said about all the scholarship information. So I've got that shared out to the Carroll community, and
Great.
I'll be sharing it with the few students I have this morning as well. So awesome.
Quick question, I did see the announcement for the grants going out, that's coming up. There's a
Workshop Thursday.
this Thursday.
Yep, you can register. If you go to the grant website, you can see the registration.
Okay, and so an application that gets submitted this year. When would that be?
2027.
Yep,
And
fiscal year 27.
Is when the work on it would begin?
Yeah.
Yeah, this summer.
So July 1.
Yep, so you'd start, if your grant was accepted, the funding would start fiscal 27, so this July. And this is a 2-year cycle, so it would carry through to 27, fiscal 28, so the end, so what would it be, June of 29, I guess. So is how that, and so you plan for 2 years. And the way I look at it is that if you haven't fully developed a grant, if you haven't developed the full work process, you submit the grant, you get funding, that gives you a lot more time during the early portion of 27 or the latter portion of 26 to put together a full, RFP, if you have to do an RFP to hire a contractor, and gives you that time necessary within a government window to do all that type of, 60 days advertising and waiting and scoring, and then another 30 days to get before a commission. And then, you burn a lot of months with the legalities of commissions and things like that in advertising for government work. And so that then gives you the rest of that winter of 27, 28, and all summer of 28, and all winter of 28 and early 29 to get work done. So
Okay, I'm just gonna.
and
It's okay. I knew you were gonna be gone, so I wanted you to get that out there, but I'm sure you're willing to field other questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm on the grant subcommittee, so I'll be one of the folks reading and scoring all the grants. So
What's the deadline again there? Eric?
February, it closes February They're due by February 25th.
So if you have additional questions on the MGAC grants, feel free to email Eric. I think we all would benefit from the information, so just throw it in the board, email chain. So elections, kind of looking to Gail and Mike, what else should we discuss today about the timing of these and getting these organized?
Well, I'm here to help Gail.
Thank you.
Because Gail is taking over for it. I mean, I've been past president for so long now that it kind of seems like my duty to do that. But, yeah, I'll help Gail out. I mean, you just gotta figure out the scheduling.
Yeah.
You know, and make sure it all fits in kind of nice. I mean, the last couple of years have been fitting in really good, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, voting another week, getting
There's
people
a
in.
good calendar out.
Yeah, so I,
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
helpful.
Or just tell me where it's at and I'll go.
It's on the election page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You go through the whole calendar thing to call for nominations.
Yeah.
well, and I can't remember, did we close that Friday or that following Monday after the conference?
I think we closed the
Monday.
Monday after.
Yeah, so I think that's a good idea. So, I mean, it's
Yeah, because we used the conference to
Recruit.
recruit
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also did a social media blast that we started early because we had
Yeah.
so many.
Because we were doing it
Yeah.
2 weeks before we were gonna do the recruiting, and then we decided, why do we need to wait so long?
This year
I
we
think
did-
we did it March
February.
1st.
Or March 1st,
I
okay.
think we did
okay,
March 1st.
March 11th, nomination open.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so social media information was going out before then, or that was the first?
I think March 1st is when we
Yeah.
decided that we were gonna
It
start
sounds,
kicking it out.
makes sense.
We at least
Okay.
don't have 7 positions to fill, so I think we already got a leg up, which only have to do 5, so.
well,
Four.
and Helen's going into her position.
Okay, so we can aim for a similar,
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I would suggest to Gail, is to start looking at the calendar and start, figuring out a few things.
and I would ask if there's anybody that you think might be willing to fill those positions. So the one position that is really difficult to fill, well, they're all difficult, but vice president, we struggled with, and web administrator, nobody has done that position but Megan for 14 years, 15 years, a very long time. And then
We're gonna let, is Helen still on?
She said she'd be
she,
right back.
yeah,
Oh, I was gonna say, we can,
she already
we need
said
to
that
get
she
someone
was.
Curtis
Oh, Curtis, oh,
for
for
the web
VP.
administration.
Oh, web administration, okay.
I don't know
I'm
if
gonna,
you'd be interested or not.
just gonna put a little note.
I've
there.
talked to
Or vice
Curtis,
president, that would be
I have
nice.
talked to Curtis before, I guess the one conflict that he did mention is with Helen being on the board, it's a little
Weird,
weird, so.
okay,
Oh, well,
It's too much.
too much Helen.
okay,
But I think he's just transitioning to the partnering organization, so he's less under Pickett than. he
I just
was
told her
previously.
that he should go for the council as the private.
I'll start planting some seeds. So I'll keep you guys updated on what sticks.
Yeah, tell Curtis to run anyway.
Miss
Yeah.
Curtis.
it would be really cool to have somebody in the VP position that is from the northern part of the state because of where the next conference is gonna be, to have them. in that
We are
position.
not turning anybody away.
Right, oh
if
gosh,
they're
no,
interested.
absolutely not, but do you guys have any ideas?
Aaron.
I don't have names, but I do think at our member meetup at the conference, we should
Yeah, okay.
use that as, and the whole conference, we should
Yeah.
use as a recruiting opportunity. I'll think about it. I'm sure I can come up with someone.
Jeff, are you going to step away from conference liaison? I know
I
that you
don't
did say.
plan on it, so.
Okay, so I can put your name down?
Yeah.
Can I write that in
I'm
ink and?
sure you can twist my arms into it, so
Okay.
I was just waiting for somebody to
Just
ask
wanted to
me.
sound aggressive.
I'm absolutely asking, if you would enjoy staying on in that position.
Hey, Jeff, in terms of conference liaison stuff, we made a big deal about tribal stuff
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
one point. Was that supposed to be at this conference?
Well, that was something I forgot to mention in my report. I need to reach back out, to, what's that guy's name?
Ken.
Ken, yeah. I haven't heard anything from
He might
him,
not.
so, with
Yeah, you didn't reach out to KR then because
Seen it.
Yeah.
I was told, well, last time I talked to him, he was gonna be getting a whole lot of people over there.
Yeah, he
Ken was like, I'm doing all this, we're going this time. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
so,
okay.
yeah, with us extending this deadline, it kind of allows us to do a few more things.
Yeah, I would reach out to him for sure. Find out
Yeah,
what's
so yeah,
going
I'll
on.
reach out to him.
Can we, I know we were talking and Rob brought up potentially like, that the deadline is really close to when students get back from, holiday break. Does it hurt us to extend it like a little bit further, say to the end of the month? I am gonna submit my abstract before I leave, but so I'm not trying to give myself extra time and just thinking about what I just heard related to maybe opening it up to more tribal participants, speakers, just a thought. And Jeff, I know you've put a lot of thought into the deadlines and the schedule and everything, but like is cutting it off at the 21st because or 23rd, I mean, because we like absolutely have to have the schedule all locked down? Is that the reason?
Well, we did extend it twice last year, and both of them was because of low numbers, but when we bumped it the second time, and this probably does support evidence of being too early. We got a huge wave of presentation submissions. So then we were actually in a position where we actually had to turn some away. I don't really want to get to the point this year where we're turning a bunch away just because of the space. I mean, we're gonna have, 2/3 less number of submissions or just rooms available this year than previously. So
I'm already at
I
27.
I do agree with having maybe a late January submission next year or early February, but the problem is when we open the registration, we like to have everything set or close to set, especially the workshops. And then some people are even waiting on, well, I'm not going unless there's some utilities or public works presentations in there so that my boss will approve it. Well, if we're getting all this stuff out late January, early February, kind of kicks back that timeline another week or two. So I'm not, that's just something to think about.
Didn't you say we're
Yeah, I
already at
love that
27?
we got the workshops dialed in already. I think that helps.
That's huge.
Definitely.
Well, and I like your idea of having like, we'll have a student block and
Yep.
just putting that on the agenda, and then we could extend just for students where they could submit a little later.
Yeah.
I don't. It's just content, right? Like, I don't like coloring it in terms of student
Versus
or.
tribal versus,
or
no, I get
whatever,
that,
right?
but just like to extend it for the students that maybe they don't, but I understand. It's just like trying to figure out the schedule and getting the agenda out there. When you don't know what the content is, it's easier to put them in a,
Yeah,
here's the student block. That does like, oh, we'll just fit you in here and there.
yeah, and, yeah, I don't wanna reinvent the wheel, you've got it already.
I'm also okay with being more selective in the content that we're offering to our members. And if we get great talks and have to turn some down that aren't up to snuff, like I would love to deliver the creme de la creme to our members when it comes to technical content and talks. So food for thought, maybe for the future. And, I'll get mine in, but if we don't have tons of submissions by Friday, I would advocate till stretching it out till the 30th.
And if you wait till the second extension to submit your abstract, you shouldn't be surprised if you get,
Yeah.
I would agree with that, right? Like give precedence to the people that
Yeah,
submit on time.
Early bird gets the
Submit on time.
It's hard.
maybe we can like put a pin in it for next year, but I just actually want to follow up what Rob was saying earlier. And I'm a fan of a little more time in January because January is always a bit of a scramble for me.
and I like having a student block because I look for those.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
That's
oh, I'm
cool.
gonna go to that because like they're doing cool things that I don't know about yet.
It's true. It's always cool to see what the students are doing, right? Cause it's not like
Oh, it's
same old work that we all like the grind.
I know we talked about this, but the Flathead Community College does have some GIS programs.
Yeah, but they-
Oh,
Been in touch with their GIS instructor,
Okay,
Helena.
Yeah.
We've been talking with them and they are bringing some students.
Yeah, I heard that they were going.
That's cool.
And, yeah, so, and I don't know, I heard on the news last week that, community college participation is up.
Always.
awesome.
They also have a brewery program. And their beer is on tap at the Montana Tap House in
I didn't
Whitefish.
realize they have beer.
Okay,
I
we
would
got,
love to support the students on that mission.
what do you think that would be a great take? We gotta wrap up elections. Is there any other questions about how the process works, Helen? Is there anything else we can do to support the rollout at this point? I'll put this on the agenda for next month too. Just
Oh, are you talking to Helen or to me?
to you.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Elections.
April 20th is, yeah, so we're gonna roll it out the first or second week of March.
Okay.
And then close of close of the conference, that would be Monday, April 20th. So, sorry.
Any questions about elections? Any questions about their terms? The penalty for, no.
I know there's been talks in the past about that vice president, and yes, I know it's hard enough to fill it, but I know we were potentially kicking around the idea of requiring some sort of like previous board experience. Do we ever circle back to that?
We have not. But that would mean everybody that is in the room here would be, I know, right?
I mean, we've been around enough where there's a few people.
Yeah.
There's a pool that we can talk to.
I would say it's definitely a challenge when you haven't been on the board in the past, like speaking from experience, right? Like I just kind of got thrown in. And I think also having a president that was in place that didn't have as much experience either made it harder, right? If I had followed Mike, who's done it a couple times, like it might have been.
But I remember.
I wasn't on the board. I mean, Jeff just asked me one day. And I
Okay.
went with it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean, Mike is a good success story of, it's not necessarily a requirement or necessity to even know what makeup even is. I'm sure Mike knew what makeup was, but he wasn't on the board previously, so. There's pros and cons both sides.
Least the blood out of me.
Along similar lines, do you think there's any benefit to decoupling that track? Like, it's a big bite,
It is.
to come out of nowhere and then all of a sudden be the leader of the organization.
It would be a change to the bylaws if we did that.
I mean, that's nothing we haven't done before.
No, I'm just saying.
Anyway, something to think about.
Yeah, food for thought. Okay. Great. Well, it's 11:56. I think it's a good time for, no one wants to talk budget before sandwiches, so we'll break and I can run over and grab the sandwiches. If anyone wants to go with me, feel free. I need to move my car anyway because it's in this lot out here, which I think technically is not.
So
I had to park on the street over there, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
I recommend you take somebody that's from Helena.
that's what I was thinking. I was looking at Jeff or Megan to see if someone could help me get there and get them. So we'll reconvene at, well, let's restart business at 12:45. Well, let's just do one. We'll stick to one. That's what's on the agenda. So we'll restart at 1. Sound good, Evan?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Get the agenda. Okay, we'll jump back in. Next up is a discussion of the budgets and where we're at. So Nick, I'll kick it to you. I can share. You want me to? Is that easy?
Why are we having this discussion again? We did have this last.
The budget,
Yeah.
just because we're picking up an activity and it's good to review the budget for section.
Yeah, I think it'll go pretty quick.
Okay.
Maybe a couple discussion points, but.
We're being fiscally responsible. I like it.
Reports, Nick, remind me where to go here.
Budget. Sweet, so yeah, we're starting to see some more memberships renew at the start of the year here. Just an observation, I did leave a note there that we're at 8 fewer registrations or membership renewals than we were at this time last year. I don't think we need to read a whole lot into that, just an observation. Then below, as Jeff mentioned, we're starting to get some sponsorships come in. We've got 3 gold and 4 silver so far, so we're looking good there. So we can go down further. I feel like nothing's changed in the GeoCon expenses. We've got John Nelson's ticket booked, and nothing too exciting in professional services with Michelle. We paid.
Did we pay her?
We've been paying Michelle, yeah. Luckily the sponsorships came in and we were back on track financially. Yeah, we paid Esri this year. We have our insurance payment. That's like $1,300 coming up in April. And then one thing that I wanted to point out was the BOD travel, transportation and lodging item. I need to move a few hundred over to Michelle's travel. But I know we discussed supporting board members going to other conferences and things like that. Pretty much all of that money has been used up from our strategic planning retreat. So just wanted to bring that up. If we, I don't know, I know Mike talked about going to the Marls conference and maybe needing some support now that his work is kind of telling him to cut back a little bit.
If that's in Bozeman, I mean, we do have representation in Bozeman, like.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
So I do not need to be there then.
Yeah, I think we got both of them covered.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'll be
volunteer
there
to go too. I don't have it on my calendar yet, but I'm happy to. If we have a table, go sit at that.
Cool. Well, yeah, if anything else does come up, though, that is something that kind of expended. Yeah, moving on. Let's see. Yeah, we used pretty much all of our general swag budget, but we still have $3 grand set aside for the GeoCon swag line item. So, and then, yeah.
Is that something you're gonna start talking about at the conference meeting soon?
Yeah, I think we'll probably bring it up in the February one.
Okay. I
Usually.
think that'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Did you want the stuff that I have? Or do you want me to hold on to it? So I did bring it.
Oh, you did? Yeah, if you brought it up, I'll take it.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, and then our meetups, that is up to date. We have 1,000 that's going towards the GeoCon meetup. So we have about 500 left in that bucket to support any other meetups outside of GeoCon until July.
1,500, right?
Well, the GeoCon might be a wash though, because we have that covered with sponsor.
If we have a sponsor.
So it'll be anything, it'll probably be anything beyond the 1,000 really.
Yeah, the GeoCon meetup is lumped into that.
Oh, okay,
So
got it.
Take 1,000 out of that.
Got it.
2,500.
Okay.
But
All right, steak dinner. The group.
yeah, we definitely support another few meetups before July, if anybody wants to do that, so. Yeah, other than that, I think, yeah, everything's looking on track. I think Dave and Jeff, we were chatting about how the workshop instructor payment goes. Is that just after the conference?
Yeah,
See
that's
how many signups they had and.
yeah, it's one of those things where you can't really anticipate the amount because the higher the cost or the higher number of attendees for those, the cost goes up, you know, so they're, you know, the cost would be pretty low if only 3 people attended those. So it kind of fluctuates or it kind of goes up as attendance goes up with those workshops, so.
Yeah, but I guess what we pay the instructors is pretty much completely dependent on the amount of signups.
Correct, yeah,
that
so they get a cut, so I think David's is 375. So he gets 375 of the, I think it's 445, or it's like 470, or I can't remember what the number is. So they essentially get majority of that number, but then we usually take $95 and add it to, and that's our cut.
Sweet,
So.
sounds good.
Just, you know, it looks like we have some money in the member support column. Right?
Yep.
And what I advocated for in that, right, was we feel like people want to go to a workshop, if members want to go to a workshop, they could apply for some funding for that.
Yeah,
Are you doing that? Or is that earmarked for, other ideas?
Is that a Helen question?
I don't think we flushed out the ideas of that, and I think I completely spaced it in our conference planning. It's not too late, obviously, it's only
Well, that's,
January,
no, by
but,
far, it's not too late.
yeah, so obviously we have open registration.
It
yet,
could
but
always,
so-
you could be retroactive too, right?
Yeah.
Like you went and you could apply and you could get $100 rebate.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something we could think about in terms of, number one.
I mean, I think that was the point of that thing, yeah.
That was my
Yeah,
idea,
I think that was
right?
the
Essentially
point.
scholarships for professionals.
Is that whole line, so that entire line item is dedicated to that, or is some of that earmarked for like your previous grant recipients?
No, that's not for grant recipients. That's for our members.
Okay.
To do scholarly activity.
Okay.
So we
Yeah,
could
that's-
potentially do that for 20 people.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good decent amount,
That would be so.
decent number to pull from.
Yeah.
Do you want to
For
put
those-
that on your
We
workshop?
just gotta let them know,
announcement?
yeah, it's gotta
Yeah.
let
And
people
that
know.
will
Link
that-
to
start
the
sending like
request.
some social media stuff out about that.
Yeah,
I mean, we're just gonna do first come, first serve, or are we gonna limit it, or what are we doing here?
That's what we've always done in the past, isn't it?
You want to do?
Well, I'm just saying that, I mean, we start opening it up and everybody starts finding out about it, we're all of a sudden offering free workshops now because they're
So
applying for this.
you're right, right? Because if we do it if we just stand at the door and hand them out, then they're gonna go quickly.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
there's a little bit of effort involved, we have to write an email. At minimum and request it. That would be a little different.
Wouldn't it be just the same as doing a request?
For assistance.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
well,
It's the same form. I think that was the
Yeah.
plan, to have
So-
it all kind of the same.
Towards that, could we do a little outreach and say there's member support
yeah,
I think-
available for workshops?
Yeah,
Can
that
we
could-
say that we have like a certain number of them available and then just, like if we say, hey, we have 20 available and first come, first serve or something like that, or not even do anything like that?
I would just say they're available and first.
Have you talked to Jenny? I mean, I know she's not part of this, but when she does, I mean, the one thing that she's been doing is trying to send out letters to. And
That's
say
just students.
to
Yeah.
students, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, that's just
no.
students and stuff, so that's something different,
yeah, this is different,
okay.
That's not there's not members.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay,
this-
gotcha. Oh,
this-
this is just for members
You-
only.
Which goes in
Gotcha.
line with the sending out a member, like March 1, member
Right.
renewal, it's another member benefit.
Yeah,
There you go.
Helen, this is for you, member benefit.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Are you working on?
Well, also, I thought it was on this page, but Megan, would it be possible to like add a line item to this that says, GeoCon travel workshop, something that's kind of a recap of the,
Yes, now that it's official.
yeah, I really like that. I really think making the conference a little more accessible, especially knowing, for me, I'm the early career people. I know it's hard to come up with money when you don't have school or scholarships or a job that's paying you enough to go. So I love this.
Yeah, because it doesn't list GeoCon on here.
Yeah.
No, I would love to have it list GeoCon workshops, registration and transportation as the last line or something on there.
Is it listed on the form? I don't think so.
Well, let's make it, like I introduced this at meetings. and got a lot of enthusiasm from people saying, yeah, how about us, you know, can members get a scholarship?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of our way of doing that.
So we have
So let's not
professional
make it
development on that
Right,
page,
just make it
so
for-
what would you like to add? Like member support to Big Sky GeoCon workshops?
It's a GeoCon travel and
Yeah, what was it called in that Excel worksheet? Let's do just a recap version of that.
I feel like if you open it up to travel, you're gonna make it a little bit harder for the person that has to do the book work. Could we just
I
open
just
it up
wanted
for
to
the,
work.
for the workshops? Yep, because then it's like a certain dollar amount. It would be easier for us to budget like the number that we would be able to do as opposed to like.
It's a good call, yeah.
Let's do $100
That's a good call.
for 20 people.
Yeah, but we also have conference registration and travel listed there, so maybe we should say GeoCon registration and workshops or something like that.
I mean, ideally, if you're saving $100, you could put that in your gas tank if you want, right? But
Mhm,
we're giving you money for the workshop.
mhm,
That's money you didn't have to spend on a workshop.
yeah. But also registration, I want, be good for people to know if they could get help with registration.
Well, and
Let's eliminate the travel in the spreadsheet there, eliminate travel costs.
Well, and I don't know how this would work, fiscally for us, it might be easier on Michelle to essentially. Cause I would imagine a lot of this is gonna happen probably maybe after they register, or is there some sort of,
Code.
or code, yeah. I mean, it's probably easier to catch it on the front end, but like there also probably will have to be a process to, issue $100 refund as well. So there's kind of two ends of this to kind of think about it from a financial perspective of how Michelle's gonna handle this.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah.
And even if we issue something afterwards.
Yeah.
Like
Cause say for example, like they register, they pay for a workshop. And they're like, and then they stumble upon this like a few days later, like, oh shoot, I already paid for my registration. Well, then you have to go through the process of issuing that refund if they were to get accepted for one of those. That's just one of those nuances that we'll have to work through.
Do we get your-
Well, it doesn't have to be, that's just, we're just saying if we should have that option.
Yeah, but if you catch it on the front end, you can just give them a code and they'll just give them $100 off their balance or whatnot. Gotcha. Yeah.
whatever's less.
Cause obviously there's some workshops that are under $100 too, so, I mean, I would hate for it to only apply to workshops, so if you're taking one of John Nelson's, you could have that plus $5 off your registration.
Oh, I just was curious if you have to issue a refund, if there's fees associated with that. So if somebody charges something and then realizes that they got overcharged, do we get charged a fee if we have to give money back? Oh, that would be a Michelle question. I
Yeah.
think you know it all.
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I know how to do it.
Yeah, I think it goes through Wild Apricot. Do you know, Megan, if there's a fee for a refund?
Probably depends on how they paid, like if they paid by a check, then no, but I'm sure if they used a credit card.
It
then
would be a
probably-
little bill like.
Yeah,
Annually, I'm
so
sure.
we should think about that, right? Because that will lead into what we're able to.
Yeah.
accommodate.
Exactly.
Well, for opening registration on the 28th, it's very unlikely
Yeah.
that we would be done. Like you might already be registering.
Yeah, so that's the problem with us having this conversation now, it's like Michelle will probably just be getting back, and I don't think we've set up any registration, and we haven't even made an announcement out to the membership, so. More than likely, we're gonna think about this probably as more of a reimbursement
people.
figure.
Well, we
Not to pay yet, just get in the book.
Listen, we could do it this way too, just proceed as normal.
Yeah.
Right now. At the conference, when we're talk about or other things, we can say, and we have initiated a program. And you can apply for, $100 credit towards your workshop.
Yeah.
Right, and it'll be interesting to see. Cause we make it, you gotta apply, just send an email, that kind of thing, we'll see how many people do it.
And I could probably set up a code if we wanted to do it now, but yeah,
So
probably figure that out.
Either way, we could get some publicity out of it, and it's
Yeah.
sometimes a little bit more lands a little bit better.
Yeah.
We can actually say it.
Yeah.
Let's not tell Michelle until they announce it at the.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
So that's for next year, then, should I remove it?
Yeah, I mean, cause like, I mean, we all know how many people actually read our emails, probably only half the people that we actually send our emails out to, probably read it top to bottom, actually, it's probably less than that, really. So for it to be shoved in an email, who knows if it'll get read, but if we actually say it, part of our announcements or part of, whatnot. Yeah, maybe there's more of a likelihood that there will be a reaction to it, like, oh.
Yeah, I could announce it at the scholarship thing, and I could say, and I'm partnering with member development.
Yeah.
Well, this would be a great thing, Helen, to advertise at our member meetup at the conference.
Yeah, I actually, whenever we get to a little bit later beyond this budget talk, I was hoping to request a chunk of time in that meeting for talking about the request for assistance. But also we never really went through the member satisfaction survey results, or at least I wasn't there for that. And I'm realizing, like, I had a really crazy fall, y'all, but it didn't even cross my mind. We should send out the member satisfaction survey from 2025 and leave it open through the conference. I was gonna shoot Michelle a note about that. But I just want to mention it to the board since we're kind of on that topic.
Well, that member appreciation thing is for the conference, so that's why we don't send it out before the conference.
No. Remember, it's like a satisfaction survey, not related to the conference feedback.
Okay,
Yeah, it was just like kind of overall, how are we doing?
Does the schedule app that we use, is there a part in there where like, rate this, how was the luncheon? How was the?
That's a Michelle question for sure, but I bet it's a possibility.
Okay, we've kind of strayed a little bit. Nick, do you have other budget notes or hit them all?
No, but we could, me and Rob are still working through, other investment options. We've had conversations, with Montana Community Foundation and kind of got ghosted from them. And then the same thing happened to me talking to a fund manager at Stockman's Bank. And I don't know, I think it might have something to do with the amount of money we're ready to invest. So we're still kind of working through maybe some other options with Wells Fargo.
Like it being too much, like.
I think it's
No.
Too low, it's like, they don't want our money.
But, yeah, right, so but one of the things that we did, is Jack.
We can talk about that. Yeah, we have 10 minutes.
Okay, great. So, right, you guys all know what we're talking about, our sort of permanent fund / endowment kind of thing. Where a chunk of our money is invested and we use the interest from that to fund member support, scholarships, that kind of thing. We talked with the Montana Foundation. They have a pretty established program of doing that. Talked about an 8% return. But they had a reservation about our tax status, right? We're not a 501c3, and that kind of threw the monkey wrench into the conversation. So the representative we talked to was going to look into see how they could work with us under our current status, right?
Or we would have to create another.
Right, and so I never did hear back.
So they really didn't like that we were a nonprofit, is that kind of what you were getting at?
No, that we're a C4 instead of a C3.
Oh, yeah.
Or C6.
Okay, I get you now.
So I don't recall getting a definitive answer on that.
no, and we've reached out a couple times.
Okay.
She's been like, oh, I'll get back to you next week.
Yeah.
How much money do we have to fund this initially?
That's the other thing is
25,000?
yeah,
Oh,
25 to
okay.
30,
That's more than I thought we did.
kind of all.
So one idea, we could establish just a separate entity, a 501c3 entity that handles that fund. And donates it.
And
To
maybe a
Maggie.
foundation or something.
Yeah, it could be sort of our,
What would that be? Say it again,
It'd be just another arm of MAGIP that's a C3.
yeah, we
Got
could call it, the MAGIP Foundation or something of that nature. And it could essentially be the vehicle that provides that
Yep.
source of funding. That wouldn't be too hard. It'd be pretty clean. Right? And then, so then the other thing is, Nick started looking into other financial institutions, Stockman Bank.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with some Wells Fargo banker and they recommended an advisor group. I started looking at that the other day. It's a little bit more straight investing. I didn't see any sort of philanthropic arm to it, but maybe that's the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Their idea, we just invest it.
Yeah.
Anyways, buy a bond. And then you're not paying a financial manager to do anything. You buy a bond for 5%, a municipal bond.
how would you transfer the money from the C6 to the C3? Did you guys talk about like what that could look like?
Not yet, not yet. I'm just kind of throwing that out as an
Yeah.
idea. Electronically.
Right?
Not with duffel bag.
What's the code for that? A leather bag.
Nick just writing a check to himself essentially.
Yeah.
It's funny how that little piece of paper can be so valuable.
Well, and if we were a C3, then people could actually donate money to it and it'd be taxed right off.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea.
I like that idea.
Instead of when we're at the conference, you're like, join this raffle. The money will be for good things. They could actually write it off.
The tax write-off thing is, that's kind of a can of worms. My wife's a CPA, so
Yeah.
it's like the way charitable deductions are itemized now, it's like you have to hit a certain threshold before. So
Okay.
most people are not able to write off small donations, which is a change in like tax law.
She said something about like 2 to 3 grand or something was what it was.
Yeah, you have to hit a threshold.
Will cost you $100 to fill out the form to get the deduction.
Yeah, yes.
Pointless there.
The C3 is an interesting idea. Yeah, I don't think, it does require some more administrative work, but it's definitely doable.
You have more taxes to do.
Yes, it's a different form. Yeah. So it would add some cost there, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and potentially another governing body to worry about as well. So.
Yes.
Duties as assigned for the treasurer.
Yeah.
Nick is not gonna run again for.
But, so, listen, we said that at this year's conference, we would try to present a plan on this topic. Right?
Mhm.
So that's why
Did you submit your presentation yet?
the last minute thing. But this is why Jackson and Nick and I thought that it would be a good idea just to bring it up, maintain the momentum on this line of thinking. So let's please, kind of keep that going, and if we need to set up an organization, that probably takes a little bit of time, a little paperwork. I'm happy to contribute towards that.
Well, I've always advocated for getting some buy-in from members. So I really think that if we can submit it as a proposal to the members and get feedback at that member meetup, I think that's a good idea.
So, Ellen, paying attention?
I am paying attention. I think it's,
To a vote at the election?
Well, what I'm thinking is we present something. We put it in the member satisfaction survey or whatever we end up calling that, and we ask yes or no. Do you support this notion? Right?
So we
Yeah.
roll it out at the meeting so that we can add some context and some flavor and then say, this is gonna show up on your survey. If you're in support of this, you can indicate that, but
Exactly.
it's a good idea.
So we have a little bit of work to do between now and then.
So we gotta put it in like.
But that's my question, should the members actually vote on it
I mean,
to make it?
Is
real?
there a precedent for that?
that I don't know, but
We
do
vote
we
on
need to put
everything
this in like the constitution or in the bylaws
Feels like it
that
should be.
we are getting another subset of our?
Well,
If
hold
the
on, set
members
the,
want
set the
that.
C3 thing aside for a second. 'Cause
Oh, okay,
Quite there.
oh, okay, all right.
That's
okay.
what I'm.
Okay.
Oh, that probably would, yeah, because that's another arm of the organization. If it's gonna be under the MAGIP umbrella, that would probably,
Yeah,
that would require
okay.
changes to our bylaws and all that stuff.
Yeah, then I think obviously we'd have to put that through the election process.
Yeah, and we'd also have to figure out, because the IRS requires you to have a functioning board of directors and all that stuff. So we'd have to figure out if our board could serve in dual roles. This happens, I mean, organizations have both.
The state library did.
Yeah, so it's definitely, there's a model for it. No, we're talking about just this idea of establishing a permanent fund to support these key areas we've identified.
Yeah.
The vehicle would be the next thing on how to.
Good.
Yeah, right? I mean, I think that's
Okay.
pretty
I'm good
straightforward.
now.
You do not, can't talk to me about any of this stuff. I'm just following along. This is way over my head.
All the work.
All this finance and taxes and, thank you.
So we
My
could,
brain shuts down.
Yeah, pretty much.
I could definitely write it in a persuasive way. So that, you know, you'd be silly to say no.
I talk to a banker and I just start crying.
I-
They're like, I'm
Sure you
just asking
do it all
about your
offline.
future. I'm like, I know, that's it.
I like what you're saying.
Technology,
Let's-
move on.
All right.
But if we don't have enough money for an endowment, probably just straight up investing, if we don't go the foundation route, would probably be the next available option until we're able to get. But
It's a starting point, right? Like the 25,000 that we put in isn't like the only thing we'll ever put into it.
Yeah.
Right? But it gets us started. And so, you know, at 8%, you know, we'll be able to support one workshop.
If there's-
Which is
First
something
year.
we have now,
In the
right?
first year, but if then every year going forward, we put as part of our budget, not just money towards the scholarship, but a little bit of money towards that. I'd kind of game this out, you know, in 10 years, the scholarships will support themselves.
I mean, what it
You
means.
know, so it's just a starting point.
I mean, if they're scoffing at our 25,000 as being too low, I mean, what are they expecting?
We'll find an institution that'll, they'll take.
I mean, are they thinking 50,000, no less
You know,
to start?
It's just.
I don't think it's
credit
so much like
is That's $2,000 on
they're
25.
scoffing at it.
That's not-
They're just
that's nice
saying, you're not
packaging.
gonna get that much
Oh, right,
in return,
right.
right?
And we know that going in,
Right.
but we're just, yeah, I get, okay.
You know, so you want to be able to draw from it
Mhm.
a little bit to support your philanthropy,
Mhm.
but you have to leave enough in order to let it
Right.
grow.
I see.
Right, so if you're getting an 8% return, you probably wanna only take 5% out, so you can add 3% to the principal. Yeah. So anyway, that's something to think about.
Yep, and the other thing I'd say, Rob, maybe you already knew this, but the permanent fund, that's like they call it a governmental fund, but it's something the IRS recognizes as a governmental fund or for nonprofits. And it has rules under like GAAP, so it's a legit thing, so it's not just like, oh, we're setting up this fund, like it has rules, it has restrictions, so, and I think that's a positive. That structure, but.
Okay,
But-
that's interesting, you know, then the other side, it's our money, right? We could just invest it and take a portion of it and fun stuff.
Yeah, I think members will be,
I think it makes it legit.
yeah, I think so, yeah. Like, especially.
Do,
Donations.
would we need to put it to a member vote if we decided to, establish a 501c3, as a part of the MAGIP organization?
Sure.
I
I
think
mean,
so.
that would be phase two, right? First, we say, we would like to establish this kind of a mechanism. You guys, are,
Uh-huh.
yes, we're into it. Okay, great. We'll, now, next time we'll report a plan on how we're gonna do that. Right?
Uh-huh.
We're gonna do that is this way. I don't know. Right?
That feels right, just to get their buy-in that we're establishing a fund. But I don't think they need to like vote on, no, I mean, I don't know, I
Yeah, we're-
wouldn't know about if we need to put it to a vote to establish like a 501c3 or not.
Yes, I know, that gets, and then what's the line? Is it 51% or is it 70% or approval? You know,
I mean, they didn't approve our, we've made decisions as a board about, our, what do we, CDs accounts and how we're gonna invest some of the money that we have to grow, a little bit of interest. So, I mean, we already have that discretion as a group.
I think so. And
But that's still in our account, whereas with
Yeah.
the foundation, it'd be in a separate account used for specific purposes. And we need to establish a charter.
Yeah, and
Board.
Yeah, good
body may
point.
be different than, and I think that's what Jackson brought up, is that who the governing body would or could be. Like whether or not it could be the elected officials of the MAGIP board, or if we would have to get somebody else.
we should probably be more efficient, right? Maybe there's. Yeah. And
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an 11-person board.
Right. I think 3.
Probably a 3-person.
Rob's in charge.
But you have to have a secretary, a treasurer,
Mhm.
and a president, I think. Well, maybe Rob, at that meeting, we can present a menu of options. So we first present the idea, and if we hear positive feedback in there, we could present a menu of options to move forward. Is that too much to
We're
do?
not bound by any of it, right? So yes, we could present the notion.
Right.
And we could see how people are, if they're anxious about it or not. And it might cause us to rethink the idea.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, we'll just keep doing our research and something.
So I can pitch in on the governance side of things, so I can do a little homework on if we were to set up hypothetically a C3, what that would. That could be my piece.
That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
When is that money from the CDs? When does that come up?
That's first week of March.
Okay.
And we've got, how much do we have right now, Nick? In this
Money
CD?
in the CD.
Yeah,
50,000.
And all that comes up in March?
Yes,
Okay.
that's something else I was thinking about. If depending on how long this process takes, is
Staggering up?
staggering so we can draw.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
4
That's-
months or
that's a good
something, have an opportunity to draw out, so.
and the reason you guys said ballpark 30 is because we talked about setting aside 20 for an operational rainy day fund.
Right,
Yeah.
but if we're rotating like 20 grand CDs every 4 months, we'll have a lot of opportunity to do something like that.
Okay.
Just keep in mind, the CD thing has been good to us because the interest rates have been pretty good. That may change,
Right,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we ran into a situation where literally we had no money coming in. And a lot of the stuff, like it was essentially like month after month, it was negative up until probably like a month ago, probably, right? Till sponsorship money started coming in.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're still negative, but yeah, there's nothing coming.
Yeah. Yes, so that's the other negative of having basically all your CDs coming up and going at the same time.
Right, exactly.
You're kind of in that tough spot financially.
So I think we do need to move along here, but I'd say, so it's January. If we're gonna roll something out in April, the board has to be on board first. So I'd say we probably need a rough outline next month in preparation of potentially voting on it in March. I'm counting myself on this team. We think we can
Can we,
get something together.
maybe the three of us
Yeah.
schedule a meeting
Yeah.
sometime in between and
Yeah,
divvy out some responsibilities?
yeah, so let's aim for that. So I have a rough outline, something on paper that we could review next month.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, and thank you, Nick, for letting us co-opt your budget review, realizing that's what we were doing. So if you have any budget questions, I'm gonna leave this budget versus actual on the agenda for the next couple months, just fairly short, like it was today, just as our activity picks up here, just to make sure we're on track. So now, the next portion here, I set aside some time for kind of committee updates. I didn't list every committee on here because we've already heard from, obviously, like Dave, for example, on technical, or the workshops for GeoCon, but I did leave some time for both member development and scholarships and grants. I know we've touched on both. Helen, sounds like you do have a couple items that you would like to discuss. If you're ready, we are as well.
I'm muted, of course. Thanks, Jackson. Also, I'm really excited about this discussion about setting up a permanent fund, by the way. Very exciting. So thank you guys for working on that. For member development updates, Jeff already filled you all in on the student roundtable at the conference. That was a very popular event, and so it'll be a little bit longer, shorten up some of the intros, etc. Jeff already recapped that for you guys. I briefly mentioned this, but I would like to have a slice of time in the member meeting to just share some of the results of the member satisfaction survey, both from the 2024-2025 survey, as well as for the new one. I'm about to email Michelle and ask her to send out to our members. And I know it's a little bit late. I would have loved to get that out in October, but we'll see what feedback we get and share that with our membership. So let me see, I had another note on something else I wanted to touch on.
And Helen, Michelle is out until the end of the month.
Yeah.
So if you want to put something together,
I did already. I'm copying. Can
send-
you send it to the listserv that goes like just to our members?
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna copy you on this, and I just I just like changed up the dates and it's the same as last year's. So I'll send that off to you, Megan, and also copy Michelle, and hopefully we can get that out and get some feedback from our members in advance of the conference. Okay, student roundtable, we did that. Member satisfaction survey. Announcement at the members meeting. I also just wanted to share a general update on membership, because I do believe we talked about how our membership has grown at our strategic planning meeting, and I thought that would be a fun thing to share with the members. I think that was it. I just wanted to mention I would love to have a little slice of time to have, share some updates with the membership.
Next month's meeting, Helen?
No, at the all members meeting at the conference.
Got it. Can you send me just like
An
how much?
email with what I want to talk about? Yes.
Yeah, just bullets is super great.
Mhm.
Well, I guess that's the other thing we haven't talked about too, because I think last year it was an hour. Do we want it to be longer, especially if we're talking about getting member feedback?
Yeah, if we're gonna do, it's not, I think we have more on the agenda. I think an hour and a half would be awesome.
Okay.
I don't need a lot of time, just like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but we're also gonna potentially pitch this permanent fund, and I have some other items I'd like to hit, so. Hour and a half's a lot, I know, but we can take a short break. So 10-minute break.
Well, I mean, this all depends on how we're gonna structure it too. I mean, we're gonna do the student thing afterwards too, or the map thing. Right, so it's gonna stretch it from more than an hour and a half. It's because we're gonna have everybody there. We're gonna want them there for the web or the map presentation.
Yeah, that would probably 86 the web map thing. I think we're honestly gonna want to do that on Wednesday anyway.
Whatever, I'm just saying that it's just something that we gotta think about.
When
Yeah.
that Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, how long people are there, right?
Yeah, just, I mean, because if you think about it too, probably like most of our conference folks are all there on Wednesday. There's occasionally some people come in just for Thursday, but there's probably more people that leave sometime between Wednesday
Can we
and
just do
Thursday.
it with the banquet?
Yeah, we could, yeah,
I mean, that's probably a conversation for the conference committee and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I think
obviously.
there's a lot of, options. On there. Just have to kind of,
Who doesn't like pub entertainment?
but we also have awards to present this year too, so that will kind of elongate that.
Do we even have those out yet? I mean, we should probably put those out.
I think they usually go out in February and close in March, so, yeah.
Helen, did that hit all your talking points for today?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Rob, I know we've talked about scholarships and grants. Do you like a little time to hit on anything else that you haven't briefed us on?
Not necessarily. You know, the meat and potatoes part of it, is done. We've got the announcements out, and advertised to the new, you know, lists that we updated last year. We added a few more things to it. And I would just encourage all of you and people you know, especially the education grant. I think that's usually the harder one to allocate. So if you have teachers, teachers or people like that, talk it up. We can be creative about how we get that out.
It's K through 12, right?
K through 12. And, as long, it could be school, 4-H or something like that, could benefit.
Scouts,
Things like that.
Boy Scouts, Girl
Boy
Scouts.
Scouts, Girl Scouts. Rock collectors. Yeah,
What about the homeschoolers?
I think homeschooling well, it's hard because if it's just for one family, that would be.
Cause like.
They
Helena's
should
got a
like come
program.
together though, yeah.
We've
Homeschoolers come
done
together.
meetups with them in town here, but.
Well, I mean, Esri has committed to providing software to homeschoolers and for things like that. Hutter rights, the group we haven't touched yet, which should be interesting. Right?
Luddites.
Yeah, no, so I just want to make a pitch to all of you that, if you're stuck in an elevator somewhere, you're like, oh, you're a teacher, right?
We need some flyers.
I sent it to
We
my
have one for
daughter.
website.
Okay,
Yeah, but anyway, that's it. That's the main thing. Hit me with questions, or if you have other ideas that where we could reach out.
Is there a way that we could take money that we earmarked for scholarships like this year, if we don't have the opportunity to give that money away this year, that we could move it into that funding for the endowment?
I've always wished we could do that.
Yeah.
Right, because yeah.
Because
there
we've
are-
earmarked it.
There are, exactly. I mean, essentially, we've already spent it.
That's what I'm thinking.
So we'll put it into Nick's secret account.
And if we don't spend $4,000, then we'll have $29,000.
That's, I mean, it's been my desire to see that. I'm glad you mentioned it. Yeah. Because usually, yeah, it just kind of trickles back in to the operating.
To the general fund.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be.
That's what our CD is built upon.
Yeah, essentially it is. So, yeah, can we, put a lock on that cell in the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
You wanted to keep
Being
growing.
scripted by law.
well, remember that part of the idea for the permanent fund is to add some structure and a process for dealing with the surplus of funds that we see every year. So we're gonna funnel some into a rainy day fund to protect us against once in a lifetime that actually happens every generation, like COVID, something like that, where there's a weird year, something happens at the conference and just a buffer, and then the rest we're gonna funnel into a permanent fund that can fund things like scholarships, member support, that kind of stuff. So that's the whole idea.
Yeah, so it's good.
Okay, thanks, Robin. Thanks for getting the announcement.
Can
Okay.
Sorry, quick sidebar going back to the mention earlier of the Marls conference at the beginning of March. Did we ever get Marls to do a for real agreement about discounted member conference rates?
So we're gonna come to that, Helen.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So I think everyone saw Eric's email, which he expanded upon earlier. I'm just going over his update now to make sure he hit on all the points. So we talked about the deadlines for the MGI grant application. Please see his email and follow up with him if you have questions. So he said that the MGIA Council is going to take action on their meeting, which is coming up on January 29th, about confirming him as the MAGIP representative or the MGIA representative and vice versa, the liaison. I think that's all in his update, but if there's questions, those will have to go to him. You have one? All right.
No, not a question, but a quick thought, and because you brought it up with the MGIA thing. Aaron Dashaway at one point talked about like seed grant, and I'm thinking about the education grant, right? Like maybe the amount that we're offering doesn't fully support a program or something. Maybe encourage, if you do talk about it with educators or say, and maybe we could think about it too, like they could use the grant that we give them to put together a larger grant to support a program. Something.
Yeah, when you're selling it, just say that we're flexible.
Right.
Yeah, there's
In the local
options.
government, state agency, tribal government. I think like. If they were working with a school. Is the thing, it's like the schools couldn't apply for the MGIA grant.
I don't know. No, they can't. Yeah.
Universities, yes, they're part of the state
Right, but
system.
then that's not capable.
No.
Yeah. But even like. 4-H, they might have a change their education platform if they got more money, apply to USDA, and they use the $3,500 that we give out.
Yeah, I don't think 4-H could get it either. But, so like Gallatin County, going and mapping irrigation canals, working on 3D mapping, sort of hydrography, and then they reach out to a school to help with that. That could maybe work, something like that.
Yeah. Or an educator in the Gallatin Valley wants to contribute to the mapping of irrigation ditches, right? So we give them an education grant to kind of prepare the field trips and the story map development and things like that, and then they volunteer and work with one of your partners.
Or like the Heritage Program with all the citizen science going out and mapping plants and animals.
Right.
Like they're already like got the survey together.
And actually,
Or using what is the iNaturalist,
right,
and then working with having the teacher just go that route.
Right.
That could be one.
yeah. So I mean, I don't
Back
think we have a
weeds.
problem coming up with projects, but yeah,
Hmm.
we need somebody on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need a teacher on our board. It's like. Yeah, the college, like, are you coming? Yeah, K through 12, yeah.
keep it all.
Yeah.
We do have some good connections.
It's good discussion just for you guys all to think about when you kind of speaking with people, friends.
Yeah, they come to our GS. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so major partnerships. So where we left this off, if you remember in December, we came up with a draft MOU to share with MAP because we've already engaged their board and they've agreed to that. That was right before Christmas. I've neglected to get that to them, but that's next up for Mike and I to do, is to share that with them and get their feedback. The reason I wanted to put it on the agenda for today is that Marl's all of a sudden, once you hit January, everything is all of a sudden happening. So Marl's conference is happening March 3rd through 6th. It's in Bozeman this year, at the Grand Tree. And so what I wanted to raise for discussion was, a couple things. One we already hit on was our participation at the Marl's conference. I think, Mike, you went last year, right?
Trying to think where it was last year. I think I missed.
Billings, right?
Someone.
Was
You were
it?
there last year.
Well, it built,
It was in Billings last year.
was it in Billings last year? Yeah, so then I went, but I thought there was one after
I
that.
thought I was in Butte.
Yeah.
Cause didn't Cussa go last
I
year?
thought it was in Billings. Or that was the map.
That was the
Literally
map.
your-
Oh, okay, so yeah,
That was
that
the
was,
year.
yeah, so the other one was in Billings, so yeah, I was at that. So,
So, but putting a pin in that for a second, that MOU, that same idea, I think we originally brought it up with both organizations. So I wanted to see if we still have.
It would be good to get them a proposal before their conference because they
Yes.
meet as a board at that conference. That'd be a great
Yes.
time for us to
Yes,
be part of that conversation if we need to be there,
Right.
or have them just have discussion with themselves.
So Mike,
I couldn't agree more. I haven't talked to Marcus. I just found out, February is their conference, and I didn't realize it was so quick coming up, or March 1st, or whatever. I have talked to Matt, and I did tell him that we have this MOU thing.
oh, you talked to him, okay.
Well, I talked to a person that's on the board still. I said, hey, look, we got this MOU thing set up. I think it's a really good idea.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. She was all for it, I just need to send it to her. And I was just thinking about this now as I was reading the agenda. I'm like, did I send it to her?
Yeah.
Yet? I don't.
I had that same thought. Well, it's right before Christmas, but we will, I can send it to, what's the director's name? I have his email, so I'll CC you and I'll send it to him.
Okay, yeah. And then for Marl's, yeah, I don't know if we wanna see if we can get in on their meeting.
That seemed to work really well last time.
Oh, that was great for the map. It was map that we did
Yeah,
that with.
that worked
Yeah, we
very
did their virtual meeting. We actually had like 15-20 minutes of
Yeah.
time there, and that was great. Yeah, I agree. But if we can get in on the Marl's one and present it to them face to face would be even better.
Yeah, because I think their board meeting's on Friday.
Yeah,
This Friday?
No, that Friday at the conference.
Oh, but they're gonna meet before then, I assume. What we're saying is, if Mike and I could pitch it to them even before the
Oh,
conference.
for the conference, I'm sure they'd be.
I just don't know who to contact other than Stately.
I don't have a contact, but
I mean, his wife Tisha's the executive director.
Is she still?
Yeah.
So,
I think I know a few people on the board, but yeah, Dan's kind of our go-to contact.
yeah, I mean, I
Even though
know,
he's even on the board.
was it Cosine? Is that his last name?
Oh,
Cosine?
Chris, yeah,
Chris.
I think
I
he's
know
past
him.
president.
Yeah,
He's getting off this year.
right, but I do know him.
Oh, Jonathan is his first name. I think he's the president.
Okay,
Um,
but yeah, we need to somehow get a hold of them.
So are we waiting on those agreements before?
Well, we haven't,
Or
yeah,
do they both already have booth space for sure at our conference? Just wondering
I would say like last time, I don't think MAP has anything for a booth.
they don't do booths.
I don't think they do booths, to be honest.
Marl's.
Marl's does,
Oh,
but MAP doesn't.
Marl's was at our conference last year.
Yeah,
That's
Marl's
bigger.
has a booth. Yeah, Marl's has a booth. They come to our stuff. MAP does not.
yeah, and sometimes that booth stuff comes together last minute, but a lot of times they put it towards that chapter where that conference is happening. So they have a pretty good mechanism
Right.
to staff it.
Yeah, for Marl's, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Do we
Yes,
have room at the conference this
We
year?
should- yeah,
For
we do.
both?
Yep.
If both of them?
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't-
MAP, I think, is more like us. I think we're a little bit more than they are, actually, group-wise and stuff, so.
Jackson and Helen, just a quick recap on that MOU. the big notion is that we trade member rates. for
And
conferences.
participate in each other's conference.
Okay, so the participate in the conference part, the thing I'm always wondering about that is how do we translate that into what we get back?
What benefit?
Yeah. What do I get out of Mike going to Mars?
Well, ideally, we get people that show up to GeoCon and our members, you know, take us up on the discounted member rate and become members. I mean, that's the idea.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, just to get our name out there.
And it would be more to advertise as well during, you know, people trying to, you know, trying to get more membership and stuff, say, hey, you have this ability now, you can go to MAP now with your membership pricing, and you can go to Marls if that's an interest to you. You know, we have more options of training stuff, you know, getting more diversity, I guess. Is that the right word?
Yeah, we're supporting our members
Right.
by giving them access to these membership with these organizations, which there's so much overlap. And then, again, ideally, when we show up there with a booth, you know, we're handing out cards and swag and all that stuff. I mean, the idea is to get people to show up, to become members in MAGIP and to show up to GeoCon.
Good enough. Thank you.
And if you're writing legal descriptions, you need a surveyor.
You make sure you announce that at Marls.
And at MAP, which was, well, Jeff, you were there, Hillary was there and I was there. Is that it, Jeff? Just was that us?
Jason Danielson was too.
Oh, yeah, and we had very good traffic at our table.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How many booths did they have? I mean, the first one we went to in Lewiston, there was like only 5 booths.
Oh, there was more this
Sure,
year.
yeah,
There
there's probably double that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
12.
That's nice.
15.
Yeah, it filled up the entire room.
Really?
Yeah, they actually had a dedicated room.
Very nice.
Yeah, we had good traffic.
That's
so.
good. Probably because of location, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still good. That's good.
Okay.
Because I think Marls had a booth there as well, so it was nice to see Marls represented now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just to put a bow on this, we need a contact for Mars, which you said you.
I have a couple, but yeah, we gotta get a hold of I'm sure on their website, they've got like kind of who the boss is or whatever, or I can talk to Chris or Staley.
So we should reach out to them and
Yeah.
say, one, we're interested in participating in the Marls Conference again this year and ask for details on that. And 2, we'd like time on their agenda at an upcoming board meeting to discuss a more formal partnership between the two buildings.
Yeah, okay, I'll put something down saying we would prefer before the conference,
Yeah.
if you guys are meeting before then.
Yeah.
If not, at the conference would be,
Yeah, we could do it there.
yeah,
And we just need 15 or 20 minutes.
right, okay,
They got a new website too. This is doing stuff the other day.
well, that's good.
Jeff, do you have the ED's email or no?
The what?
The ED's email, the director's email for Marls?
Yeah, I can get to here in a second.
Okay,
Really simple.
okay. Okay, so that's kind of major partnerships. So those are moving forward. We'll report back.
Can I finish up on the MOU then and send it to me?
It's ready.
Oh, so we just
Yeah.
need to send?
Yeah, we just need to send the.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so just CC me on that when you do it.
Yeah. Yep.
What's that?
Yeah, Rob?
So we have a potential Morals member right here. And we're just looking at their membership deal. They already have a slot for affiliate membership.
Okay.
That's what I am. That's what I am. At the state library.
So what are we asking for exactly?
mean-
Acknowledgement that we want to be an affiliate member.
In our MOU, like what rate are we paying?
Well, the rates still have to get discussed. Like the MOU is just like, you know, we're pitching this idea to them, that we sign this MOU, they're not legally binding. And it adds, you know, some structure to this agreement rather than every year we kind of email each other and say, hey, do you want a booth? I don't know.
Well, ideally, our members wouldn't be paying anything because they'd be a member to our organization, but they get access to their conference at their member rate. So they're not actually signing up for a Marl membership at all.
Right,
Probably a registration code or something.
right.
So then they get access to that discounted rate, but they'd be coming in as a non-member.
So
Right.
just for conference stuff.
I think it could potentially be both, but yeah.
It's like $190 a year for that membership for them.
Yeah, we're not saying that they have to get a membership, but just have the ability to go to the conference at the member rate.
Yeah, I mean, the Marl's membership is very expensive and, yeah, it's definitely a different pricing tier than ours.
Okay,
And there may still need to be some negotiation. They have not seen this MOU.
Yeah.
What's happened thus far is Mike and I got on their meeting, pitched the idea, they were very supportive. And we said, we will take the lead on putting together an MOU and we will circulate it first with our board, which we've done, and then to your board.
I mean, the idea of the MOU is because board members leave. You know, they're.
yeah, you don't wanna have to ask for the handshake every year.
Exactly right. This MOU at least gives some kind of groundwork or something that people could follow as they keep on going.
And they're not, yeah, it's not a contract.
Right.
They're not obligating financially to anything. They're just- Okay, Megan, I didn't get a chance to connect with you before. Would you like to talk website at all? I want to
Sure.
leave some time for that.
Yeah, I don't know if you wanna pull up the document real quick with the website policy. I
Oh,
put
yeah.
a link in the chat too,
Okay, I'll do it there.
if you were already in it. If not, I can reset that link. But as Rob mentioned, grant and scholarships are on the website.
Oh, I don't see it in the chat.
Oh, you might not have been on yet.
Well, there's something on the chat.
Oh, that's from Helen.
Oh,
I'll put it in there again.
MG Act details.
You see it now.
I saw it, a notification for, oh, here we go.
Conference website is up to date, except for the sponsor that came in today. Get that up there. Mentioned workshop stuff is up there. All the MLIA council meetings have been added. And then the other thing, just mentioning what we want to do about membership renewal. So that got covered of getting that email together and if there's anything we want to update the website on, but it sounds like the member benefit stuff we're gonna wait on. So then with the policy document, this was started back in 2012 when we went through Wild Apricot. So it was mainly updating things to the current themes, and layouts and colors, fonts and sizes. So that's all in there. And then at the end, I've started adding in just like the main things that need to get updated and who usually does that, but so just kind of an overview of where things are kept and files. So this was one of the strategic items, strategic planning items that I was gonna do, is get this updated.
This is something that you would hand to somebody if they took your position.
There, yeah, it's that, it's anybody that's gonna be editing the website.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well done.
So, yeah, it's a living document. They'll just be on the website too, for anyone that needs to see it. And, there's some accessibility information in here. That's something that can still be like extended. And, yeah, so that is in the web committee folder out on Drive as well.
So like the ADA compliance stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, so when we were designing it, that Tessa spent a lot of time looking into that.
Yeah.
Colors and whatnot, but just making sure that we stay compliant when it comes to adding alternative text to images and.
Yeah, the city of Bozeman is, has really strict, ADA compliance rules when it comes to our webpage. And so Tessa was our web administrator for, strategic services. So she'd gone through like 12 hours of training that was exhausting. Yeah, it's really boring, but it's super important. And, but there's like PDF stuff that you can do, with the tags and all that.
Yeah, and that's like something we haven't really been doing. It's like, I think there's an 8-hour course we can take through LinkedIn Learning PDFs. And like, it seemed to be like one of the toughest things to get accessible.
I've heard that it can be really hard.
So Megan, this was a pre-existing document that you've updated. So would you
Yes.
like feedback?
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Okay.
feel free to put some comments in here at
Okay.
any point. It, like I said, it'll be a living document, but I just wanted to make sure that it did get updated.
Yeah, well, it looks fantastic. This is such a helpful section here at the end to have who updates what. I mean, that's the kind of institutional knowledge that usually gets lost. Thank you for putting that.
Do we want to start making a 2026 election page?
Yes.
I think probably a good idea just to get it out there of what positions we have
Yep.
that are up for running.
I will do that.
Do we wanna do that, like, in conjunction, oh, you wanna do it now? I don't disagree, I like, the earlier we can do elections, the better,
And
I
we can
think,
always
just
ask.
because, yeah.
Yeah, just to get it out on the website and then
Yep.
have March 1st, you send it.
Yep. And then the other part of this that I was gonna do and that I'm continuing to work on is rearranging all the files and updating the file structure behind the scenes of Wild Apricot, because people will add files and photos, and over the years, they're just willy-nilly
It's
wherever they
drifting,
wanna be. So put it, the problem is, like, once you put it in a new folder, then I have to relink it, so it's not like it knows that you moved it, so.
In any document that had that same folder, that was, yeah, so. Very trendy, very
Right,
trendy.
that's a good point.
So I'm getting there.
Hyperlinks we put in our PDF documents, it's like, oh yeah, we moved it.
Does it talk to Drive or can you link it? to
It's not a drive thing, it's its own like file directory, so like anything that's, if you upload a file into Wild Apricot, it's, yeah, so it's, you know,
If I, okay,
maintain.
now I have questions.
Yeah.
If I upload a file, do I need to be moving it somewhere specific?
You should
I've never
put it,
done that.
you should
I'm
put
gonna
it
be
in the folder
honest.
you want first and then link it.
Where have you been uploading the minutes then?
I
Whatever
just.
you want.
I
think they just been like-
I didn't default. Sorry, I honestly
No,
didn't
no,
know
you're
that
fine.
was.
I
didn't see that on my secretary duties. But I can update.
Well,
I'll look and
Okay.
maybe they're just
I always
automatically
got
just going.
confused on that separate
Yeah.
folder thing where you gotta put that stuff. but
Yeah,
I always-
and like you can drag and drop it, so it's like you can do it two ways. I always like decide where I wanna put something, like make my link, then hit the file thing, navigate to the folder,
That's how it
drop it
goes.
in there.
yep, that's how I do it.
Yeah,
How I've been doing it.
I have to say that was one of the things I was really challenged with coming in as the VP, having been on the board in the past, like that conversation. And I know I relied on you like 100% to
well,
help with
and
that.
it's not intuitive.
Jeff actually called me on it a couple times, like I remember like I would have sent out like an agenda and you would be like, hey Gail, this needs to be da 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 da, and I'm like, oh, okay, didn't know. And I probably do it like every single time.
I followed Jeff, I mean, that's what
Right.
I was still confusing.
Yeah, I
It
think
loves
that's-
to default to random
Yeah.
locations,
Ah,
and so
okay.
if you don't see where it's put in the files, yeah.
Along that same topic, the drive, I don't know if you noticed the space on it, so I think it's at 85%. Especially for
It's probably all
putting more and
recorded.
more, especially if we plan on putting more and more photos in there, I think that 85% is gonna go up.
In Google Drive.
Yes, Google Drive, yeah.
Are we saving
Find more
recordings
space.
in there? Do we have,
The
are
what?
there photos in Google Drive?
Um,
What do you know what the space things are?
Do we get those photos because of the things that, like, when we have our meetups and we have to send
yeah,
photos?
I think right now we're not doing any of those photos, which I think there's been talks of putting them somewhere
Yeah.
or in a,
How do I check the storage?
It's on the left there.
I mean, I
I
wouldn't.
thought this was my personal drive.
I think most of that's just kind of.
Yeah, this is mine.
Accumulated over time. I mean,
I'd have to sign in and stuff.
during certain, especially the Intermountain one, we were saving a lot of photos then.
Okay.
There's a large number of from both the Billings and the Great Falls ones. But yeah, what to do with photos, or do we?
Do we
keep them?
resize them all?
Yeah, or resize them all, yeah, but,
Get them on a drive, just a drive.
Have Michelle save them on her computer.
No, no, she has no idea where any of those pictures, yeah, she doesn't know where anything is.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
So maybe that's a conversation we have down the road, but especially if we're asking for photos.
Do we need another Gmail account
Where-
called MAGIP Photos?
or we might just need more storage.
Because right now they're probably going in our Esri account, right? They're probably just storage there, so it's like, I don't even know if we're gonna be meeting that cap at some point as well, so.
Yeah, we should probably look at that, see if we're, cause Esri storage is expensive.
Yeah, so I don't know where those, I mean, I would imagine they just live in that survey 123.
Oh, yeah. Do we need to keep them after we've received them and verified?
I don't think, I think I've seen a couple of the Helena ones, but I've really yet, well, and I think the ones that Nick had posted about the other ones, I did check those out.
Did you enjoy looking at all the photos before
Oh,
you give
yeah.
them their money?
Maybe in 20 years.
It's definitely a good thing to require, but then like, what do we do with them? I'm okay with like not keeping them after a year, but like,
I think after 3 years, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like nice to
Archive.
have expectations of attendance for the following year.
Yeah.
Maybe we require one photo.
I'm in the middle of doing archiving of the city for our GIS stuff and it's frightening. Like, everybody wants to keep a copy of a copy of a copy. They call them like Russian nesting dolls and it's just. Delete it, no, and compress. Sorry, there's so much.
You
Well,
guys, just an update on our ArcGIS Online credits. We, between the period of August and right now, we get like 500 credits a year with our licensing. We have used a total of 20 credits. I don't think the receipts are eaten into our storage space.
Oh, that's good to know.
Well, that's probably all
Yeah.
storage, so that probably contributes to the storage of photos and.
It'll
surveys.
show on the homepage, yeah, what it's for.
Yeah, no, that's like everything, surveys, photos, whatever we have in our content. It's like pretty small amount of our credits usage.
And those credits carry forward, so every year when you pay for your account, you get an additional 500 credits, so. Anyway, they do on my ELA, so presumably it's the same for our account, but we should check that.
Okay, any website questions for, any other website questions for Megan? Great. Okay, so that's all that I had listed. We still have 8 minutes. So if there are other discussion topics, any new business that we want to raise, now is the time.
I had a couple things. One, I have totally dropped the ball on that salary survey that we brought up at our strategic services event. I don't quite remember the timeline that we wanted to do that. Was that something we wanted to give out at the conference for people to? Okay,
Be a good time to get a bunch of responses for sure.
yeah. Okay.
Well, since you don't have it done yet, so yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you have, you have the bones of it done, right? I mean, that's the
In my
start.
brain.
I thought we were.
Yeah,
just-
it won't
we were-
take me long.
Yeah, we
I
were
just-
eliminating some questions or something.
Yeah, no, I've got the questions and everything. I just haven't made. the-
Yeah, having a QR code at the registration, really having it.
No, that would be a perfect time actually during the conference for sure.
And then just have Michelle, make sure to scan the QR code.
Yeah.
I think Helen has an input, or it looks like you have something to say, Helen.
Oh,
you
I
go.
was just nodding along. Yep, that sounds great. Also, I saw the ERISA, aka GPN, just released a new salary survey the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Who was that? Ezra?
ERISA,
Oh, yeah.
now
Yes.
GPN.
Was you, yeah, I saw that.
You want to forward that to the MAGIP list?
Well, there was a manager's one too.
I saw the manager's one.
Yeah, so did I.
Lauren, do you
Oh,
have a-
maybe that was the one that I'm thinking of.
Lauren, do you need help with that? With
No, I can do it. Yeah, I just need to do it.
Okay,
Sorry.
and then you said you had another,
Yeah, I'm not gonna be at the next meeting, so I'm gonna need someone to help me out with the notes, if that's possible.
I can do it unless somebody else really wants to.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Bring you back a t-shirt from Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
little train.
I just wanna go with you.
Nice.
We're in Hawaii.
Maui.
Oh, nice.
How about I just go to Maui?
Okay.
let's all just go with Lauren and we can just all take notes there while we're on the meeting.
Helena, I was wondering about the surveys you were talking about. Are you issuing one like at the conference, like that people can fill out while they're
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, so we do a couple different ones. We have like an annual general member satisfaction survey, and then we also did a conference feedback survey where we, are collecting pretty specific information about, workshops and presenters, et cetera. So we'll close the general satisfaction survey before the conference, but it is nice just to get that big picture view of beyond just the conference. How are we doing?
Great. I have something minor, which is just to say after the Zoom bombing incident, I just want everyone to know that I did edit the videos to cut all that out, and I also deleted the transcript. I didn't realize it at the time, but the transcript also got hacked.
Oh, dang.
So that, yeah, that was unfortunate. So again, I'm sorry that happened. I did recreate all the Zoom links as you saw, however, it looks like the waiting room still needs address, so I'll keep that on my to-do list. We'll make sure, or try to do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Do you think if we just remove the end part with the password, then it'll require you to, I don't know how.
I'll look into it. Yeah. So you might unfortunately get more. I'll try not. I think I can just edit the existing calendar updates with a new link. So hopefully you won't. But if
You should be able to do that now that you've set it
now,
up.
yeah, because now they're mine. Yeah, now they're mine. So, schedule wise, we are. February 17th. It's obviously virtual, 2 to 3, you should have that on your calendar, and then March 17th as well. We're green, St. Patty's Day. We have not finalized the slot. Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, for the board meeting at GeoCon yet? Or do you have?
Or the annual member meeting, or?
Yeah, where is it gonna be during the conference?
Yeah, in terms of like the day.
Oh,
we have.
Thursday morning.
Okay.
It was when we had it last year at least.
Okay, if that still works for the agenda, okay,
Yeah, I think it's perfect for the agenda.
okay.
I probably the biggest question is, do we meet outside of that, the board meeting? But I don't think we have in the past couple of
We
years.
didn't pass business items last year, right? We just had the.
There wasn't a whole lot of.
Well, and what we did for May is, we just approved the minutes from the member meeting and the March meeting.
That's all we did?
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, you mean
at
we
the
just
May
did them
meeting.
twice? I was like.
Yeah, so in May, you basically have to double up on approving.
Oh, right, so we didn't have to do that at the conference.
So
that's.
the
Oh,
conference
right,
one,
right.
I mean, we did it one year, but we also got feedback, because I mean, we
Yeah.
did try to make it a board meeting by approving minutes and stuff, but people kind of got.
Yeah, they
weird
did.
by it, which I agree with.
Yeah,
but-
I do too.
So.
And we have a lot on the, yeah, so.
Yeah, so, but really, that's the only business you have to really do to formal meeting, so it's kind of an informal meeting at that point, when we turn it to a.
Right, and that's what we want, because we
Yeah.
want all the board to show.
So,
Yep. Yep, and I'll provide more details about what we're gonna do for the member meetup, like the agenda as we get a little closer.
Yep.
I think it worked well last year, so we'll carry some elements over, we'll have some other pieces.
Yeah, but I would say, easily, hour and a half, 80 minutes, probably count for that. So instead of ending at 9:15, maybe we end at 9:45.
Okay,
8:15 to 9:45.
great, so I'll update that. Calendar invites, any other new business, anything we missed today? Okay, upcoming events, so MGAC on the 29th. It's an all-day meeting.
Are you gonna be able to attend that and give a update?
Was just wondering that 29th.
I don't even know if they got us on the agenda yet. I didn't see it. When I saw the announcement, I didn't see the agenda, so I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw Megan was on there.
Was Megan on there?
Yeah, they kind of combined it with Eric Steinberg.
Yeah, I mean, so it's usually right around we're like the first thing right after lunch.
Yes, I can then, yep. Obviously, we all know GeoCon. Local government SIG, February 19th, 2 to 3. Encourage you if you can to attend that, it's part of Andrew. And then Marl's, March 3rd through the 6th. So maybe we could make a plan for who's gonna be there
Oh, for that?
for Marl's. I'm willing to be there. Nick, you said you're already gonna be there? Attending talks? Or,
Yeah, ideally, but I'm happy to hang out.
okay,
It's
someone else said-
proposed-
I'll be there, I'll be there for state library, but I'll probably double dip, so, cause there'll be enough state library folks where I won't be needed the entire time.
okay, and I can sit at our table as well, so.
You know, I'm gonna be wearing MAGIP t-shirts.
You gotta wear your little pin,
Yeah, you gotta wear your name tag.
mayor or your name tag, yeah.
Okay, so we'll get some swag put together from that. How much leftover did we have? Did you take the leftover, Jeff, from Matt?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, we have all that stuff from GIS day though. too.
Yeah, I have some extra from that too, so I think we can piece it together.
Yeah,
I
so,
have a lot left, actually.
oh, yeah, so I think Michelle probably has the majority of it, because she essentially shipped it all to her place. She did ship a little bit, or had the company ship a little bit to me for the map conference, and then she did a little divvy out for the GIS day, so there's kind of swag here, there, and everywhere right now.
Okay,
Like I said, I brought
Yeah,
my box so you can take it.
Yep,
okay, so Mike, in your email to, or we're gonna get the ED's email and you're gonna say we wanna attend. Cause we haven't confirmed with them officially, all right?
Oh, when I talk to Marl's, talk to them about
I don't think we've officially confirmed that.
that we're gonna be there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, I'll tell them that for sure.
okay, anything else? Great,
The state library
oh, awesome.
has
Yes.
posters and postcards,
Definitely
if you
take
want
that
any.
one else. I guess we do technically need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'll second that.
Second, thank you, Megan. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
It's funny how the state library
there's
jumps
some
all over that.
Great.
Get out of here.
Thanks,
I
Helen.
only made 2 motions for the
Thanks,
entire.
everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there with you all.
That's okay. We'll
Great
see
to catch up, though.
you soon.
Bye.
We haven't done one of those in a while.